this is everyone here. Unfortunately, Ryan couldn't come from Recharge. He's got COVID, so apologies he couldn't be here. But I guess I like to describe myself really as a kind of this kind of a nerdy tech talk in many ways, because for me, as being kind of head of performance, I do love everything when it comes to kind of targeting and technique, but actually like the tech space has exploded, and we'll hear more about it in a second from both of these two guys. But it's just, there's so much opportunity, and I think many brands really miss out on that opportunity by not really understanding what there is in the space to actually kind of be able to kind of go into. So hopefully, after the back of this kind of conversation, you'll have a bit of a greater kind of understanding of where we're going. So before we kind of jump into it, so us in kind of Bolt Digital, we kind of see that we have a kind of a baseline tech stack that we recommend to any client that we work with. And this is not saying this is everything that we recommend, but this is a baseline to allow you just to be able to compete in the market that is ever competitive. You've got more products in the market, you've got iOS changes, you've got more competition being driven, you've got Brexit driving up shipping costs, you've got the CPM rate of Facebook jumping 50% year on year. And really what this means is actually the whole of your business needs to be operating at the most efficient way possible, not just certain parts of it like was possible when people entered before the pandemic. So as we kind of mentioned, you've got Recharge, you've got Gorgias, Hotjar, Klaviyo, little data you've heard from Okendo, Triple Whale, Lifetimely, and then VideoWise. And so I guess while we kind of jump into it, I think the first kind of questions I'm going to kind of direct towards you, Claudio, is around kind of video has increased 77% between 2019 and kind of 2021. TikTok, Reels, kind of talk me more about your kind of journey to kind of starting the company and your kind of passion for it.
Of course. You already heard me speak during the pitch, so I'm going to try not to be repetitive, but I don't come from an e-commerce background like everyone here. I come from product design and from Silicon Valley designing products, and I stumbled upon e-commerce just because of my own need to watch video. I always found myself going to YouTube and watching unboxing and review videos of products that I used to buy. And as a designer, you learn to iterate based on data. And one day I read an article on thinkgoogle.com that stated that 48% of shoppers were leaving those product detail pages to go to Google Products, YouTube, and search more video about those products. And that's a huge amount of traffic. I read this article in 2020, and that was a catalyst for me. I was like, how can I keep the audience on those product detail pages so that you don't lose them? Because once they get to YouTube, that's it. Cat videos, I don't know, recommendations from your competitors, whatever, you're going to lose that traffic. So the beginnings were just bringing YouTube videos onto Shopify stores. But I think that, as Will said, it's all about timing. Timing is very, very important. And we were very early in the market to see TikTok rise, to see Instagram pivot from a photo app to a video app now, and to also see the increase in creatives and influencers creating this video content. So it was perfect timing in terms of how do we actually leverage video content, because brands started creating more and more of this video content, but they weren't truly monetizing it. And once we placed a product to be shoppable in a video, we started noticing those numbers in analytics, those conversion numbers, those engagement numbers, and it was like, I don't know, a eureka moment. It was like, okay, people that are watching this content, they're going to purchase at a higher rate. So that's how we actually started VideoWise, and it is a timing thing. We see a real opportunity right now and then a market takeover just because of the results that we've been generating, and that's why we've been partnering up with Bold and with a lot of other agencies and with most of these applications that you already work with, because video shopping is a very new vertical. It doesn't have any crossover with anyone. So it's very easy for us to integrate with any of the applications like Gorgias, like Klaviyo, like Recharge that you are already using, and just leverage that through this new sales channel that merchants are not already using.
So I guess you kind of mentioned Recharge now, as many brands here are probably kind of going through that process, or very much in the process. Kind of getting a subscription is really pivotal to kind of maintaining that lifetime value, maximizing it, especially if you're kind of looking to kind of exit in the future. So kind of talk us through a little bit about integration as you currently see it.
Of course. One of our main channels of acquisitions have been integrations, and there's so many opportunities that you can include in shoppable videos, not just a checkout button. One of the opportunities is actually including subscriptions as well, and shoppable videos, and basically allowing the same purchasing options that you would regularly have on your store to also have in the videos that you're going to share online from now on. So if it's subscriptions, Klarna, Shop Pay, I don't know, Apple Pay, we're working on including all of those in shoppable videos, and there are companies like Recharge that really do provide an amazing service, and we work really great with them.
And I think it's a really good point for me specifically, is that people have lots of different tech platforms, but in reality, a lot of it sit within like data silos. You have one platform that has X amount of data, the next platform that has Y, but in reality, a lot of platforms don't talk to each other. And one of the reasons why we're all sitting here is actually I thought these were really great people to really speak to you about how you can connect everything all together. And so I guess kind of Neil from Gorgias, kind of passing over to you. Again, I know that you've got quite a lot of integrations kind of coming forward. It's part of a lot of your kind of roadmap and ones coming out. So talk us through that as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, integrations has got to be one of the most important things that you take into consideration, or like a brand should take into consideration when they're building out their tech stack. I mean, I didn't touch on this too much earlier when I was doing my talk, but like to look at like the Gorgias product in a little bit more detail, one of the things that we do is pull together not only like the communication channels that you have with your customers, but also all of the other tech solutions that most brands on Shopify, on Magento, on BigCommerce are using, so that you get this single customer view. And there's not many easy ways to get that. Gorgias is one of them. But the benefit of that is that, and it comes back to the number one tip that I mentioned earlier, which is be fast. Like the benefit of that is being able to have access to all of the data about a particular customer in one place, not just from Shopify, not just from the place that they're buying from, but also the third parties like Klaviyo, so getting all the information from their about the emails that they open, from Yotpo, from Recharge, everything about that customer in one place. And that has the net effect of providing a better customer experience and therefore enabling you to drive profit through your customer service platform. I feel like there was something else I was gonna mention when you asked that question. Yeah, specifically Klaviyo, because I suspect there's a lot of Klaviyo customers in here. Is there? How many people use Klaviyo? How many people use Gorgias? How many people have integrated Klaviyo and Gorgias? Okay, so not everyone. But I mean, this comes back to like having the best tech stack there. And what this new integration, I think this is one of the best developments for marketers, and certainly in Klaviyo marketing in quite a while, is that there's a two-way integration between Gorgias and Klaviyo, which allows you to now segment and build lists in Klaviyo based on Gorgias criteria, which was never available before. And it's developments like that that brands can leverage if they have that right tech stack in place from the word go, which is why we work with guys like Bolt, because they know that.
Thank you very much. So I guess moving back over to you, Claudio, I guess in terms of when I initially kind of heard and kind of explored your solution, one of the things that came to me is it's all well and good, but is this not just going to absolutely destroy my site speed? Because what you're wanting me to do is put loads of videos onto the site. What is going on? That is not best practice whatsoever. So kind of, you touched on it briefly, but talk us through a bit more kind of information around it.
Yeah, early on, that was the pushback that we were seeing from merchants. That was the main question, like, is this going to slow down my website if I'm going to add video content onto it? And for a company that does shoppable video, we actually don't put videos on your website. We just put thumbnails and lazy loaded images and very fast loading scripts, like 40 kilobytes, and those launch the video player. So on the initial load speed on your page, you're actually just lazy loading some optimized images that are actually part of the video widget that launches the video. So that actually, it's a best practice that we got quoted by Shopify Plus in their blog, and it's called LITE, light video embedding. So it's a technique where you should not put a direct auto-playable video on your site, because it's just going to slow down the initial page speed. So it's a very good best practice to not actually use that unless it really makes a difference, a huge difference for your brand. And the videos should be extremely compressed. But yeah, we really excel at adding videos on site without affecting the page speed. So yeah, you can add video and not have to worry about the page speed. And you can add galleries, like hundreds of galleries of videos, and it would never affect it.
And the question asked before was kind of what types of industries work best for this. So I guess my question is around what kind of videos work best to try and drive a sale on a client website that you guys have seen so far?
I mean, these are two questions. The first one is the industry, and the second one is what type of content. But in terms of industry, we haven't seen a true limitation, and I think during the pitch deck I was asked something like that. The role of video fundamentally is to answer questions and to break the barriers that your shoppers might have about your product. Like, you should answer all of the questions that they might have about that product so that you can maximize the chance of them making a purchasing decision. So there's no industry limitation. It's all about what is the friction point for the shopper before they purchase the product, and how can you reduce that friction point? And in terms of video format, vertical video is king nowadays. We're seeing the most conversions out of vertical video because most of the conversions and most of the consumption is happening on mobile. So I strongly suggest reusing and increasing the ROI of your existing TikTok videos and Instagram stories by using it on your website and all of your other social media and marketing channels.
Perfect, thank you. So I guess Neil, back over to you. So I guess I kind of see this section as you kind of guys know roughly what these guys do. In reality, I want them to kind of impart as much wisdom onto you so you actually have some takeaways to take from this kind of meeting. So Neil, kind of where do you guys at Gorgias where do your customers see the most value kind of coming from working with you guys?
I think it probably comes down to why that customer chose Gorgias to begin with. So some people might choose it to help with the acquisition side. They might have issues replying to social media comments. So some people might want it for retention for like the post-sales service. There's a whole bunch of different reasons. I say like the number one reason is down to like the increases in efficiency that are created through having that single customer view, because that just has such a strong impact on so many parts of the business. And then the second part is probably the analytics that we can provide based on that, like specifically about the customer support, because without tools like Gorgias, a lot of the analytics are just lost. So for example, if you're getting a lot of support tickets about, or you're getting a lot of emails and questions on social media about, say, like shipping, you might feel like you're getting a lot of those tickets, but if it's not being tracked properly, there's no way to really tell that like shipping might be an issue within your business. So having like really easy to understand strong analytics is another reason that people choose Gorgias.
And I guess from our side, like one of the things we talk to our brands about quite a lot is, especially if you're selling a product where people want to know quite a bit of information about it. So in wellness, what are the ingredients in it? What are the kind of the true health factors that aren't just what they can read from the website? So kind of a lot of what we talk about is to what extent can you deliver actually kind of live engagement with people on your site with kind of lower time. So kind of talk a little bit about the kind of the live shopping.
Well, yeah. So
Sorry, I mean live chat.
No, it's fine. Like live chat and live shopping kind of go hand in hand to some degree, because think about it. If you have a question about a product and you don't have, or if one of your customers has a question about a product and you don't have like a good live chat on the site. By the way, live chat, although it still makes up about 10% of most tickets, it is the preferred channel for people under 50, so or consumers under 50. So if you don't have live chat on your site, someone then has to navigate away from your page, from that product when they have a question, which is instantly disrupting that buying pattern. So if you can meet them on that page, on their preferred support channel, and answer that question in a timely manner, then there's a much, much higher chance of that customer converting. Does that answer your question? I
think one thing that Ryan from Recharge would kind of talk about is their incredible kind of retention rate for retaining customers. I think something like 97% of all of their customers still stay with them. So I'm not sure who here is with Recharge, and if you're still with Recharge, but if you're not, you're probably in a very small minority, and if you are, then you're probably in the massive majority. And I think from them, it's very much the detail they provide back from their biggest vendors, what is working for them from a subscription level, and then passing it down to the kind of smaller kind of subscriber bases that you can really kind of gain lots of kind of data and insight without having to kind of have like years and years worth of kind of data. So is that what you guys are seeing, I guess, from your side, from like what kind of insight do you pass back to vendors from kind of the broader ad set?
So we're seeing very fast ROI within the first weeks of the trial. As soon as you can get your video shoppable, especially on your site, the ROI will be there very, very fast. And in terms of retention, it's very similar to what Recharge is doing, because you're going to have all of your video content in one place, and you're just going to start seeing that that's producing and adding revenue or converting a part of your audience that's engaging with the video at a very high conversion rate. And as soon as you see those numbers like triple compared to your standard in-store conversion rate, I think the only question that you're going to be answering is like, how did I not knew about this? And first of all, it's because it didn't exist up until like recently, and I wish you would wish that you have used this sooner.
Well, Tash is on the side of the stage and telling me to get off again, because apparently I seem to always overrun. So I think we should end there, and I will pass back over to Tash.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.